It's great. I mean, we've been in business since 2009 as pure software running on x86 servers. So our tagline is software-defined storage at petabyte scale. So being decoupled from the hardware is something we've done from day one. And now seeing the OCP movement kind of mature over the years, I mean, I think this is the biggest show by far that they've had. It's pretty impressive. It's great to see the vendors building things and contributing to the community. It's also great to see the customers coming, not just your hyperscale customers, but also classic enterprises at the show. I mean, that's our market. Our market is basically the global 500, global 100 types of companies. And again, you're going from, certainly you see a whole bunch of Facebook and Twitter people, but you're also seeing the banks, right? So Goldman, JP Morgan, Fidelity, etc. And you're even getting into other verticals like Merck and healthcare. Really folks that have large data centers, right, that are really looking at this movement and this type of architecture and saying that's the way they want to get to. Are they ready to buy it? Different story. But the fact that they're here and looking at the technology is really important. Well, I think that there's just a recognition, both from software open source, right, and now hardware open source, that there are benefits to mutually investing, right, in taking learnings from your Facebook and applying it to the broader set of technologies. So I think that's going to keep going. Obviously, as a vendor that's not an open source vendor, we believe that there are proprietary things that a small team can move faster on, that can develop on, particularly things that are not that mature. We just had a panel yesterday with a variety of open source, open core, as well as proprietary vendors. And my takeaway from that is you always need a community, right, to take something from an idea into some type of technology that you can build on. Then the question becomes, how fast can you move that technology forward? So there's definitely a place for open source with hardware. I strongly believe that. I think there's some great innovations that are coming out of this movement that are going to be applied very broadly. If you noticed, HP presented yesterday. Yep. Clearly, as a proprietary vendor, they're seeing some value, and they understand that they also need to be part of that community. So overall, it's a good thing, and I think that ultimately, I don't think there's an obstacle, but I think there are going to be differentiations between open source and proprietary stuff, where both make sense. So storage, for a variety of reasons, has sort of lagged the movement towards, again, commodity hardware or x86-based hardware and software driving the intelligence and capabilities, right? First you had the compute layer. Arguably the network layer has been next. Storage has been the laggard. So if you've been in the storage world, maybe you feel like you've heard software-defined storage too many times, but in reality, we're still at the beginning of that trend, right? Where software like ourselves, like some of the other vendors out there, you can do all the things and more that you could have done in an appliance form factor. So for us, it's very much enterprises embracing the fact that they can do all the things they could do in appliances in the software layer and take advantage of movements like OCP, where they're getting the right form factors, the right economies of scale, and the right price points for the hardware layer. Yeah. So it's lagging the other layers of the stack, but storage is definitely moving very, very strongly. So I think that a lot of this ends up being maybe the data center that people have been talking about for several years, which is much more automated, right? Once you're able to decouple the software from the hardware and all the software capabilities are services, right? You are much more flexibly able to orchestrate everything, right? Whether you're talking about an application, being able to find the right resources it needs, right, for scaling up or scaling down, or if you're an operator and thinking about, again, managing the environment in the most effective, automated, policy-driven kind of way, these are things that have been discussed for quite a while. I think we're actually much closer now than we were, right? You've been around the industry for a little while. There's been trends around SOA, right? There's been trends around the whole autonomic data center, lots of different terms. I think we're closer now than we've ever been to that point. And point in fact, when you look at things like Docker or you look at the orchestration things that are out there, those are examples of in my mind, of how ready we are for that type of data center.